Good afternoon, everyone. So let's discuss about the regular and irregular verbs. So although we have, or I have given you a brief introduction of these, however, I want you also to see what are its differences at the same time, what are the different kinds of regular and irregular verbs. So the forms of the verb vary whether it is regular or irregular. Regular verbs are verbs where the past and past participle are formed by adding the suffix ed or d to the present form. While the irregular verbs are verbs where the past and past participles are not formed by adding the suffix ed or d to the present form, meaning it can either change some of the spellings or for other spelling stays the same for the past and past participle. So these are the common regular verbs. Okay, so we have the present to present participle, past to past participle. Again, we have already discussed the 12 tenses, so I believe that um, you have already memorized the structures of the present participle, past participle, and even the future ones. So these are the common regular verbs, so we will not further elaborate this one. I just want you to pause this video if possible. By the way, I am going to also upload this on your LMS so that you can rewatch this anytime. So these are the common regular verbs. So we have offer, the present participle is offering, then the past tense is offered, and the past participle is have offered. Okay. So we also have the different irregular verbs that are of the same present, past, and past participle. So these are the examples. Let us just discuss one. We have did in the present tense. For present participle, you just add ing to it, so it becomes bidding. And then the past is bid. So if you notice that the spelling did not change from present to past, because as per the description of the irregular verbs, it can either change the spelling or it will just remain, or the spelling will just be the same. And for the past participle, you have bid or has bid. So it depends. Okay. And we also have irregular verbs that are of the same past and past participle. So here we have present. The present is bind. And the present participle, you just add ing to it. So it becomes binding. And then the past participle is just the same with the the past tense is just the same with the past participle because the past tense is bound. However, for the past participle, you just add past have had. So we have that. Okay, so these are the other verbs that are of the same past and past participle. Okay, so this is a continuation. Let's have the irregular verbs in different forms. So this one, the spelling changes if it is um, transformed from present to past or to present participle or past participle. So we have arise, so we have arising to present participle, past is arose, and the past participle is arisen or have arisen. So these are the different verbs, so you can go over this one later. So I will also post this PDF on your LMS so that you can check these irregular verbs because I know that some of you were having a hard time figuring out whether the verb is a regular or an irregular one. So you can just check this one. Okay, we have the principal parts of verbs. Verbs have four principal parts. These are the present participle, past, and past participle. Take note of these principal parts of the verb. We have the present participle, past, and past participle. Again, when you say principal parts, these are the present participle, past, and past participle. But if you say three main tenses of the verbs, we have the past, present, and then future. For the aspect, we have the simple, we have the perfect, continuous, and perfect continuous. Okay? So these are the example or the sample sentences. So the four principal parts of the regular verb dance. So we have the present dance. Present participle is you add a be verb to it. Again, the be verb is are, are, was, and were. So just add dancing, and then past is dance with ed, and then past participle is has, have, had, plus past participle of the verb we have dance. So it is just the same. Um this is an example of a regular verb that the past and past participles are the same. Notice that the present form of dance is dance. It is also called the base form. The past participle of the regular verb dance is danced with ed. It is only added by suffix ed. The present participle must be combined with a helping verb plus the verb with ing. Okay? So again, the present participle must be combined with a helping verb. So be verbs are also called the helping verbs because these kinds of verbs only helps the main verb. Okay. The past participle is also combined with help verb plus verb in the past participle form. When present participle and past participle are combined with helping verbs, they function as verb phrases when used as a sentence. Again, when present participle and past participle are combined with helping verbs, these verbs right here, kanang is, are, was, and were, they function as verb phrases when used in the sentence. Okay, so later on, we're also going to discuss about the verb phrases or the different kinds of phrases. Okay, so like this one. He dances like an expert. Okay, take note also of the subject verb agreement. When the subject is singular, the verb should also be singular. So for this matter, since our subject is he and he connotes one male, so therefore our verb is singular also. So we have dances. Okay, so he dances like an expert. In the present participle, we have he is dancing like an old man. Take note of the structure of the present participle. It is be verb plus verb with ing. So we have here he is dancing like an old man. We also have the past tense of dance, which is danced. You just add ed to it or the suffix ed. So he danced last night, and then we also have the past participle. Again, the structure for past participle is has, have, had, and the verb in its past form. I know the past participle of the verb dance. So we have he has danced gracefully. Okay, we also have the four principal parts of the irregular verbs as well. Sing. Okay, so our example earlier is dance. By the way, the four principal parts of verbs, it applies to regular and irregular verbs. So here we have sing. So the present form of sing is sing. The present participle is be verb plus verb with ing. Past is sung, and past participle is has, have, had, and sung. Okay, with you. This one. So this is an example of an irregular verb wherein the spelling changes if the tense also change. Okay, so example, present tense, Ida sings well. Okay, so our verb here is the word sings, but since our subject is only one or singular, so we have sings. And then the present participle, she is singing to the highest pitch. And then the past, we have Anna sung, my favorite song. And past participle, Raul has sung for the first time. Okay, Raul has sung for the first time. Okay, so these are the different examples of verbs in the regular or irregular forms. Now let us go to inflection. So I believe that I have already discussed inflection, although a brief discussion only of inflection when we were discussing about derivation. Let us just go through this again. The word inflection is originated from the Latin inflectere, which means to bend. This notes a process of word formation in which objects, letters are added to the base form of a word to show grammatical meanings. So inflection can be used to indicate the part of the speech of a word. They take a variety of forms which often use prefixes or suffixes, just from noun to verb or vice versa, such as listener, which is a noun, and listen, which is a verb. So we have inflected the we had inflected the suffix "-er", so from listen, which is a verb, it becomes a listener, which is already a noun. Okay, so inflections also are used to show different grammatical classes, tense, person, and number. So in inflection, not only the grammatical or syntactical structure of a word changes, however, it also shows different grammatical classes, such as the tense, person, and number. In the past tense of the verb, d, ed, or t are added. Moreover, suffix ing or the negative particle nt are also added as other forms of verb. We say dance, talked, slept, working, or even can't or cannot. The inflection at the end of the word see shows that the verb is in the present singular form, where the subject in a sentence also present singular. So she or Andrea sees the following object. A stamp is what remains of a word when any inflections are removed from it. So take note that the base word is also called a stamp because it is what remains of a word when any inflections are removed from it. So if the word has no inflection, it is stamp. So this meant that this means that inflections, which could be prefixes or suffixes, are added to the stem of a word. The word cooked is made up of the stem cook and the inflection in. Okay. We also have inflection rules of verbs. So for grammatical category, we have the progressive, the perfect, the past, and present. Take note that in the description of inflection, it also shows different grammatical classes, which tense or which is tense is included. Okay, so here we have progressive, perfect, past, and present. So the inflection for progressive is the suffix ing, the perfect, the suffix en and ed, the past is the suffix ed, and the present is the suffix s. Okay, so for example, however, um, you are just going to inflect s, the suffix s in a verb if our noun is naman. If the noun is singular lang siya. That's why it's present tense. Sorry. Singular. If the noun is in present form. Okay? So, ano siya? Okay. Okay. Note that there are also verbs that do not follow the rules above, such as irregular verbs. The word catch, for example, is marked as past tense by changing its vowel and its spelling, producing the word caught. Some words, such as must and ought, are never inflected at all, no matter the context in which they appear. Okay, so let us now go to preposition. Okay, let's have preposition. So a preposition is a function word that connects or combines a noun. Okay, again, have preposition connects or combines a noun, pronoun, or phrase to another word in the sentence, according to Merriam-Webster. A preposition composed of several words rather than just one is called phrasal preposition. Again, a preposition composed of several words rather than just one is called a phrasal preposition. However, a phrasal preposition does not indicate that it is a phrase. It's just a preposition. It's not a pre preposition of phrase. So phrase or preposition lang siya. Okay? So prepositions are used to show position, location, direction, time, and other relationships between words and phrases in sentences. So here are the common prepositions and their meaning or usage. So we have the preposition of place, position, and direction. So in the preposition of place, position, and direction, it shows the relationship of place between the nouns or pronouns to the other words in a sentence. So these are the example prepositions of this type or this preposition of place, position, and direction. We have at, around, along, among, across, above, after, against, behind, below, beside, by, between, from, down, close, in, into, inside, in front, off, next to, near, on, off, onto, opposite, over, outside, out of, over, outside, round, past, through, towards, and there are many other kinds of prepositions of place, position, and direction. So at, it is for a specific address such as I live at 28 Governor Boyles Street, and it can also be used for meeting place such as at home, at the office. While on, it is to identify names of streets, avenues, roads, and many other, such as our drugstore is on Governor Boyle Street. Okay, again, it is used to identify names of street, avenues, roads, etc. And it is also for means of transportation on a bus. Okay, so you will know the difference between on and in sa kanang in means for of transportation. You say on if nakabarog ka inside a vehicle, such as a bus, an airplane. You say on a bus, on an airplane. Kana pag makabarog ka inside the transportation, so you use on. For televisions, radio, we have on TV, on air or on the air, whatever. And then walking or riding on horseback, on foot, on horseback. While on in, it tells us the geographic location. So example, I live in Cebu. Cebu is in the Philippines. I live in Butuan City. So take note nga, unlike sa at, specific ang iyang address. Okay, so naa siya number and then naa siya street. You can say, I live at 28 Governor Boyle Street, Butuan City. And sa on, street lang siya, indicate siya sa street, avenues, and roads. While in geographic location lang siya. Example, in Butuan City, in Cebu City. You can also have in an enclosed space, such as in an envelope, or sa kanang sakyanan, if ever, in transportation, kung dili ka makabarog sulit sa sakyanan, such as cars, kanang small cars, say, in the car, I am inside, in the car, or you can say, sa helicopter, I am in the helicopter, and then in a print medium, in a magazine, or in a book. And then we use by, close to, if we are pertaining to what is close to or alongside of. So we have by the school, by the door, by the river, kana siya, by. Close to or alongside of. And we also have along, tracing the length and not emphasizing the ends along the river, kana siya. We are not emphasizing the ends of that river. So we use along. For among, it is in a group of three or more among friends, and then it can also be for the end of a long list, among other things. And we also have onto, movements onto a place, and then we also have jump on the rooftop, and towards, in the direction of something but not directly to it. We have run towards the base again, in the direction of something pero dili siya directly dito kapaingon. It's just on the direction of something. Run towards the base. So these are the different prepositions of place, position, and direction. Now we also have the preposition of time. So preposition of time are used to show relationship of time between the nouns or pronouns to the other parts of a sentence. Examples of prepositions of time include on, at, after, as of, in, from, to, for, since, ago, before, between, and, till or until, by, during, after, past, within, or etc. or many more. Okay? So in the prepositions of time, we use at to designate a specific time. Okay, example, the program starts at 8 a.m. So there is a specific time, or there is a designated specific time indicated in this phrase or sentence. The program starts at 8 a.m. Or for meal time, at dinner, at lunch, at breakfast, for age, at the age of 18, at the age of 19, 20, and so on. And we also have the other usage of at. We can say at noon, at night, at Christmas, at Easter, at the weekend, at present, at sunrise, or at sunset, or at the moment. We also have the preposition of time on. So we use on for days of the week, such as Monday, on Monday, or for dates on October 7th. So we use on. And then we use in for non-specific timers during the day. Okay, non-specific timers during the day. We have in the evening, so it's not specific. It just said there in the evening. Okay, so we also have we use in for the seasons, because in the summer, in the winter, and siya in. And we also have months. We say in September. And years we have in 2019. Basta something that is not specific, especially in time you use in. However, when you say October or November 29, 2023, use on. Okay, on November 29, 2023, we had a meeting. And we use for to measure time. So example, for 4 hours, for 6 minutes, and then we also have since from a certain specific date or time. Since 2000, since 9 a.m. And by a limit in time. So we have by sundown. And then the end of a long list, among other things. Oy, I think wala di siya na. Okay, pati libro no kay makasayo. Okay, and then we have the past, so telling the time, 10 past 7, 7, 10, and telling the time, 10 past 7. Okay, so these are some of the example. The chief issued the memorandum on the 25th of November. So take note that this kind of kanang format sa date is the military style format. So the chief issued the memorandum on the 25th of November. We also have, we anticipated the long holiday in November, and Mark has been steadily showing signs of recovery since Monday. Okay. We have the prepositions of agents or things. So these are used to indicate a casual relationship between nouns or pronouns and other parts of the sentence. We have of, for, by, with, about, or many others are most common examples of this type of preposition. Again, this is the preposition of agents of things, huh? So we have of, who or what did it belong to? Who or what did it belong to? We have a page of the magazine. We also have related to. Okay, so about my family or my family's company, we also have not exactly, not exactly, not exactly, or about 1 million, kana? And then for topics, and then talking about her. Yeah, kani siya may examples of for, by, with. Kani example for about, kani pod about, kani about. Hindi siya sa of, sa about siya. So some other examples are, okay, so we have the infomercial is about preventing the spread of disease. Then we also have all of his guests follow the imposed health protocol. So a phrasal preposition is composed of two or more words functioning as a preposition. It should be remembered, however, that a phrasal preposition is not a prepositional phrase. Okay, so as it's like what I have said, just like what I have said earlier, hindi siya ka ng phrasal phrase or prepositional phrase. Okay, phrasal phrase na noon, sorry. I stand corrected. It's actually a prepositional phrase. So most common phrasal prepositions are because of, along with, apart from, according to, in front of, contrary to, by means of, so many others. Kani siya tanan, these are examples of phrasal preposition. Remember that these are not a prepositional phrase just because it composed of two or more words functioning as a preposition, it does not necessarily imply that it is a prepositional phrase. We have an example. We couldn't go through the port X-ray machine on account of our metallic luggage bag. Okay, so we have this one. The given example, on account of, links its object, our metallic luggage bag, the rest of the sentence. Okay. We also have another one. They still gathered around for the protest in spite of the warning given to them. Here, in spite of, a phrasal preposition that links its object, the warning, to the rest of the sentence. Take note that if you're going to use the word despite, dapat ang ihong magsunod ng word is dili of. You cannot say despite of, okay? Rather, you can say in spite of. So, despite lang siya. Despite the calamity, you cannot say despite of the calamity. That's already wrong. So you can either say despite of and this. Okay. Okay, so I believe we are already done with the prepositions. We also have the other preposition. We have the preposition of position. So, I think, okay, we're done with this one. And, yeah, okay, wait lang. Now let us discuss conjunctions. So conjunctions are words that connect words, phrases, or clauses together. They are referred to as the linguistic devices that create cohesion in sentences and paragraphs. There are three main types of conjunction, namely, we have the coordinating conjunction, subordinating, and correlative conjunction. For coordinating conjunctions, these are generally connect sentence elements of the same grammatical class, such as nouns with nouns, adverbs with adverbs, phrases with phrases, and clauses with clauses. Coordinating conjunctions are the following. So what you just have to remember when you say coordinating conjunction is fanboys. Maori gyud na pag-coordinating conjunction, fanboys, wala sa lain. Okay, so fanboy stands for and or, for and nor, sorry, for and nor, but or yet so. Okay, so this is just what you have to remember. When you say coordinating conjunctions, we have seven, and that is fanboys. Seven letters, fanboys. For and nor, but or yet so. Okay? So, examples. Joseph has to work late night, so he cannot make it to the party. Again, I'm going to read to you again the coordinating conjunction. So, these generally connect sentence element of the same grammatical class. Okay, so these are two independent clauses that are connected by a coordinating conjunction. Two independent clauses, meaning when you say independent clauses, these are a group of words that a group of words that can stand alone. So muna na siya koan, sentence na siya. For example, this one, awa, Joseph has to work late. So if there is no coordinating conjunction, this can already stand as a sentence. Joseph has to work late because it has already a complete thought. This one, he cannot make it to the party. So if we are going to remove the coordinating conjunction, this can also stand as a sentence. So he cannot make it to the party. So when connected together, it is connected by a coordinating conjunction. So mao ni siya. Joseph has to work late, comma, so he cannot make it to the party. Again, a coordinating conjunction, this connects two independent clauses. Okay? Coordinating conjunction are what connects two independent clauses. So what are these coordinating conjunction? Again, fanboys. For and nor, but or yet so. The second example, the friends went to the park, but they did not have time for the museum. Okay? So it was connected by a coordinating conjunction but. Okay, how about the third one? Their success was due to their teamwork and the support from their friends and family. Okay, so it was connected by the conjunction and. Okay, support from their friends and family. Okay. We also have the subordinating conjunction. So subordinating conjunctions are used to connect an independent or main clause with a dependent clause. Okay, so used to connect an independent clause with a dependent subordinate clause. Okay, if the coordinating conjunctions connects an independent clause to another independent clause, a subordinating conjunction naman connects an independent or the main clause with a dependent clause or a subordinate clause. In other words, subordinate conjunctions or what you call subordinators are used to link subordinate clauses with the main clauses in complex sentence. They include after, if, because, that, although, though, tell, unless, as, before, when, while, were, where, than, whether, in order that, nevertheless, etc. So there are many connectors that if ever, wala siya diri sa atong example, but if ever you come across with a connector and it is not fan of the fanboy, so automatically it can either be subordinating conjunction siya. Basta connector siya. It connects an independent or a main clause to a dependent clause or a subordinate clause. Example, we went camping although it was very cold. Okay? We went camping although it was very cold. So it was connected by a Okay, it was connected by a subordinate clause. Okay, so kung kanilang siya, although it was very cold, di ba, it does not have a complete thought. So medyo siya kulang. Okay, but we went camping. This is our main clause. Main clause na siya. Ano siya, our subordinate clause or our independent clause. Because, again, subordinate clause are a group of words that cannot stand alone. So it does not have a complete thought. While on the second example, we have the friends decided to go to the cinema. So this one, taman lang diri as sa cinema because the next word is already a subordinate conjunction. So this one now, the first is our main clause or the independent clause. The friends decided to go to the cinema, and then this one, because it is too hot to go to the beach. So this is already the start of our subordinate clause because it is too hot to go to the beach. So We're going to read the sentence. It does not have a complete thought. Okay. Okay, number three. Father went to work after he had finished breakfast. So from here, tama na siya sa work. So this is our main clause or our independent clause. Take note again that independent clause or main clause are a group of words that already has a complete thought. So it can stand alone in the sentence na, while a subordinate or a dependent clause are a group of words that does not have a complete thought. Okay, so parehaan ni, after he had finished breakfast. After he had finished breakfast. So this one, it does not have a complete thought. Okay, you're going to ask, ano, what did they do after they finished their breakfast, right? Ka. Subordinate conjunctions always come at the beginning of a dependent clause. However, dependent clauses can also appear before an independent clause and it is separated by comma. Again, so it doesn't mean that the sentence is in subordinate clause na ano siya sa second second well, not second line, second siyang like sentence or thought. It can also appear before an independent clause. Okay, it can also appear before an independent clause. However, you have to put comma after the last word in the subordinate clause. Example, although it was very cold, comma, we went camping. So, notice that in our example, mas nauna ang subordinate clause. And how are you going to identify that? Because of the nauna ang subordinate clause because of the subordinate conjunction although. Okay, so this is just what you have to look for the sentence. Ang lang subordinate clause so that you can also identify kung saan naguna ang paan ba ang SC or ang subordinate clause or ang main clause or ang MC. Okay, so another example, because it is too hot to go to the beach, the friends decided to go to the cinema. Okay, so notice that in this sentence, the subordinate clause came first before the independent clause because of the subordinate conjunction because. And then the last example, if you're going to notice also, ibali-bali ra ang example sa example above and this one. After he had finished breakfast, father went to work. Okay, so nauna ang subordinate clause na to because of the subordinating conjunction after. Okay, again, so there are many different kinds of subordinating conjunctions aside from what was written in this book or in this reference. However, if you came across with another connectors and it is not it is not part or it does not belong to the fun boys kay ang coordinating conjunctions nato kay kung anong kabuok 7 and their acronym is fun boys. So it is yung subordinating conjunction na siya. While in correlative conjunctions, are conjunctions that come in pairs and function like coordinating conjunctions to connect sentence elements of the same grammatical class. Hence, they give emphasis, okay? They give emphasis to the combinations of two balanced structures. They get their name from the fact that they work together. So these are called correlative conjunctions because they work together, okay, and relate one sentence element to another. They include either or, both and, neither nor, as many as, not only ba. Okay? So, mao gini siya dapat ang mag-pair together. Mao ni siya dapat ang pares sa sentence. Okay, so our next discussion is about interjection. So I hope that you have already understand the different kinds of conjunction. Again, so we have the coordinating conjunction, which is the acronym FANBOY. So FANBOY stands for and more, but or yet so. We also have the subordinating conjunctions. Again, what are the subordinating conjunctions? These are used to connect an independent or a main clause with a dependent clause or a subordinate clause. Again, what is the other word for subordinating conjunction. So it is called the subordinator or subordinators. Okay, and then correlative conjunctions. So these are pairs or these are conjunctions that come in pairs and functions like coordinating conjunction. So because they come in pairs, dapat dili gid sila magbuwag sa sentence. Or it's not necessary nga dili sila magbuwag, pero dapat makita nimo sila duha sa sentence. So example, either or, both and, neither nor, as many as, not only, but ganun siya. Okay? Now let us proceed with interjections. Okay, the first part of this discussion is missing. Pasya na apil dire. However, I am just going to discuss to you what is interjection. So interjection is a word or group of words used to express feelings or to attract attention. So these are words nga kanang mo express lang siya og feelings. Okay? Mura siya mas emphasize. As a general rule, interjection should be used sparingly, especially in writing, because overuse spoils their effectiveness. So, interjection should not always be used in a sentence. So, dapat dili siya always makita. Just sparingly, especially when you are writing, because the overuse of interjection could lead to its ineffectiveness. So the more that you use interjection in your writings, the more that it will be ineffective, or the more that it will not be effective anymore, because paano magud sa interjection is to express ka ng feelings or emotions, or just to emphasize emotion. So it gives emphasis. Interjections are primarily used to express strong bursts of emotions or feelings, such as in wow, kanina na, wow, that's really amazing. Okay, so if sa imong second sentence na kay wow na pod, sa third wow, sige na kag wow, 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 mawala ang iyang kanang sense sa pag-express. That's why you use interjection sparingly. Okay? So, some interjections express only yes or no. Okay, some interjection. So you can say, yes, I will almost definitely follow you. Okay, and you express a strong emotion. Or you can say, no, I don't want to go with you. And we also have the punctuating interjection. So in punctuating interjection, we use exclamation point. Okay, exclamation point. It is used to express kind of outburst of feeling or strong emotion. So it is used to communicate the intensity or strong emotions such as anger, surprise, or an excitement. Example, yes, yes with punctuation mark. Yes, I made it at last. Or you can say, wow, with interjection. It's so beautiful. Okay. An interjection meant to express uncertainty, confusion, or disbelief requires a question mark. So it is not just exclamation point, but commonly it is exclamation point when you want to express a strong emotion. Okay, but sometimes when there is a confusion, uncertainty, or disbelief, it requires question mark. So it helps to capture the actions or gestures accompanying the emotions, such as a wide open mouth or the rolling eyes. So like what? Now, so just try to imagine my reaction when I said, "What? You accepted his proposal?" And then, huh? Casey still wants me in Anna. Okay. We also have a comma or period indicates milder or weaker emotion or feeling like doubt, indifference, aloofness. So these punctuations tone down the emotions conveyed in the sentence. So, for example, na, na, I don't really care if it's there. Na, ano, mali. Or you can just say na, I don't really care if it's there. Okay. Again, in the punctuating interjection, so the commonly used one is exclamation point. So it is used to communicate the intensity of strong emotions such as anger, surprise, or excitement. We also have question marks. So it helps to capture the actions or gestures accompanying the emotions, such as wide open mouth or the rolling eyes. We also have the comma period. So it indicates only milder or weaker emotion or feeling like doubt, indifferences, or indifference, and of peace. Then we also have the structure of interjection. So it is a word or short, a phrase or short clause capturing an emotional burst can function as an interjection. Again, structure of interjection. A word or phrase or short clause capturing an emotional burst can function as an interjection. Hence, an adjective, a noun, a phrase, or a short clause can be used as an interjection. Example, she has changed it at last. Or Jerome has grabbed his second championship trophy. He rocks. Okay, so the word rocks, since it is used to express or to capture an emotional outburst, therefore it is an interjection. It is intense. And the word good, right? Good. She has changed it at last. Okay, well, interjections can be grouped into two based primarily on their linguistic structures. First are the primary interjections. They are usually one or two syllable segments with the following characteristics. They do not derive from the other parts of speech, do not follow regular compositional pattern of word formation, and do not have systematic system for inflection, signaling different grammatical categories. Examples of these are, oh, basta ka na eh. Um, uh, oops, karawingan ako. Um, hoy, huh? Na siya. And let's now go to the secondary interjection. So they are interjection which can be said to have derived from the other part of speech, such as nouns and adjective, like hell, I'm so sorry, or shit, yan lang. Get that bloody thing out, please. Yan lang. Or other examples of or secondary interjections are kani. Bingo, blast, behold, these are the secondary interjections. Okay? That's that. Again, pag interjections nga primary, they are usually one or two syllable segments with the following characteristics. They do not derive from the other parts of speech, do not follow regular compositional pattern of word formation, and do not have systematic system for inflection, signaling different grammatical categories. Okay, so positions of interjections. The most common position or placement of interjection is at the beginning of the sentence. These interjections are often followed by an exclamation point and comma. When interjections are placed at the beginning of the sentence, they either serve as the core part of the entire sentence or function independently as a complete sentence separate from the sentence following. So in the following sentences, in the interjection is connected or dependent on the entire his sentence, especially on the meaning expressed by the entire sentence. So, on the other hand, in the interjection seems independent from the following sentence. So, this one dependent siya sa entire sentence. So, oh no, your pet just chewed on my shoes. While the second one, it is just dependent. So, you can just say, alas. Okay, alas, the champion has finally met his bait. So interjections may also be placed in the middle of a sentence. The purpose of this is to convey a bit of a notion without having to resort using more words in becoming worthy. So these interjections are usually set off with a pair of commas. If all I need to be promoted is a postgraduate degree, then, hey, who am I to argue? Somebody help. Gosh, her head is bleeding. Okay? So, the interjection here is put in the middle of the sentence. So, again, the purpose is to convey a bit of emotion without having to resort to using more words and becoming wordy. Okay, so these interjections are usually set off with a pair of commas. Okay, the comma, the first comma, second, second. Okay, that's one. So interjection can also be placed at the end of a sentence. These interjections often follow a comma, such as in the following sentence. I told you not to do it. My goodness. Okay, so this is inter example of interjection. So I guess we're never going to experience like this again, huh? So di ba na siya sa end of the sentence and it is followed by a comma or a comma before the interjections. Overall, interjections, these are punctuations or words or a group of words used to express feelings or to attract attention. That's interjection. Now, hmm, let go. Let's go to the sentences types, structures, and functions. Okay, so reading and writing correctly is very important. Wrongly learning the structures and pronunciation of the language, it will take several years to undo the mistakes learned. Knowledge of meaning of words, sentences, and parts of speech played a great role in writing and comprehension. Okay, so let's go to the elements of a sentence. So in English language, it is important that sentences are communicated clearly. Sentences must follow certain patterns that can be described in grammatical terms. In writing sentences, we always include the two basic parts of a sentence, the subject and predicate. They always go together to make a complete sentence. So here we have the subject. In a sentence, the subject performing the action can be noun, noun phrase, or noun clause. To examine sentences, grammar experts have determined three kinds of subjects. We have the complete subject, the simple subject, and the compound subject. In the complete subject, okay, example, the tall tree swayed in the wind. The tall tree here, this one, the tall tree here is the complete subject and is usually the entire noun phrase. And in the tall tree, this is the entire complete subject and it is usually the entire noun phrase. This is usually found before the verb. Again, complete sentence usually found before the verb. We also have simple subject. The word tree is the simple subject. Simple subjects can be is the main noun or pronoun being talked about in the sentence. Okay, that word tree is the simple subject. Simple subject can be the main noun or pronoun being talked about in the sentence. So pwede po ang simple subject na is he or she or it. So for this one, the word tree is a simple subject. In this example, okay? In this example. Okay, the compound subject. So the compound subject here, the sturdy young man and the child didn't get along very well. The underlying group of words, this one, are called compound subjects. Compound subjects consist of two or more subjects joined together by conjunctions. Again, compound subjects consist of two or more subjects joined together by a conjunction. Remember that the simple subjects of the sentences are the man and child. Okay, so these are the simple subjects. But since we're talking about the compound subjects, so we have the first one, the sturdy young man, and the child didn't get along very well. Okay? So it is connected by the or interjection, sorry, coordinating conjunction and. Okay, now let's go to predicates. As with subjects, predicates can be categorized as complete predicates, simple predicate, and compound predicates. To form a grammatically correct and complete sentence, the predicate must include a verb. Can also include objects, complements, and adverbial. Okay. predicate must include a verb. It can also include objects, complements, and adverbials. A complete predicate in a sentence include a verb. Okay? A complete predicate in a sentence includes a verb that tells something about the complete subject. While in this example, in this one, Jonathan father, Jonathan's father makes shoes. The complete predicate is makes shoes, and the simple verb is makes. Okay, ang complete predicate is make shoes, and the simple verb is make. Again, predicate must include a verb. Okay, so it can also include objects, complements, and adverbials. So for this example, Jonathan's father makes shoes. So our predicate here is makes shoes, and the simple verb is the word makes. So nag-start ta diri as a verb. Padulong sa last. Okay? We also have objects. In English, an object in a sentence is considered the receiver of the action. For example, Leslie dropped the ball or she ate the cake. Objects can be a word or group of words which functions as a noun, and each type of object can be classified as complete, simple, or compound object. Objects categorized by the different functions in the sentence. Again, so object is the considered receiver of the action. So objects can be a word or group of words which function as a noun, and each type of object can be classified as complete, simple, or compound. So we have, I think we have already discussed the direct, indirect object, and prepositional object, correct? So again, pag direct object, the receiver of the so they are the receiver of the action. However, direct object answers the question who, or what. Indirect object answers the question to whom or for whom. And prepositional object can be seen, or prepositional object is makita siya after the preposition. Okay, so makita siya after the preposition. So it answers where or asa siya. So parehas ni, I wrote on the wall. So where did I write? On the answer on the wall. Okay, so a prepositional object there is on the wall, since again prepositional object can be seen after a preposition. So we have now, let's go to complements. Complements are words that complete the predicate by describing a noun in the sentence. Linking verbs are followed by a complement to form a complete sentence. So there are four kinds of complement. So there are four kinds of complement. So what are these complements? Okay, we have the subject complement, object complement, adjective complement, and verb complement. Again, there are four kinds of complements. We have the subject complement, object complement, adjective complement, and verb complement. Okay, for subject complement, this functions as a noun, pronoun, or adjective. It comes with a linking verb and tells something about the subject of the sentence. So there are three kinds of subject complement. First is the predicate nominative, so which appears with a linking verb and renames, identify, or explains the subject of the sentence. Okay, example. The new president of the company will be Dana. Okay, so Dana renames president. Again, predicative nominative is appears with a linking verb and renames or identifies or explain the subject of the sentence. Here's one example. The new president of the company will be Dana. So Dana renames the president. Dana renames the president. Let's go to predicate adjective. Predicate adjective is an adjective that appears with a linking verb and describes the subject of the sentence. Example, the spread of the virus seemed uncontrollable. Okay, so uncontrollable describes spread. Okay, uncontrollable describes spread. Okay, again, predicate adjective is an adjective that appears with a linking verb and describes the subject of the sentence. Okay, adjective that appears with a linking verb and describes the subject of the sentence. The spread of the virus seemed uncontrollable. Okay, so uncontrollable describes spread. Okay, uncontrollable describes spread.